Hello friends, so today we are going to talk about the maintenance of a 2.2 liter M-Hawk diesel engine of Mahindra, which is equipped in the Scorpio and 4x4 diesel automatic car which I have been driving for the last 2.5 years. And we will compare it with the 2.0 liter Cryotech diesel engine which is sourced from Fiat and used by Tata Safari and Tata Harrier for almost 4-5 years or more as of now. And we're not going to compare in tech specs or driving capabilities. We're just going to talk about the technical maintenance and the key aspects of the cost of ownership of both the cars. So if you are going to own one of these, you will be able to understand and figure out which car is going to be simpler for you to maintain and what are the capability differences if one of them is going to give you a little bit higher maintenance. So let's talk about the engine design and reliability first. Scorpio N 2.2 liter M-Hawk diesel engine is made by Mahindra. It's a proven ladder on frame SUV engine and it is very rugged, plus it is tuned for off-road as well as the highway usage. No problem in both of them. It has less turbo lag and better low-end torque, 172 PS and 400 Nm torque in the automatic for the 4x4 vehicle, and that gives you a very good punch whenever you need a torque or power on demand. A very robust engine and time tested because it has almost 2 decades in India now, and it is very easier to work on. And in tier 2 to 3 cities there is a good network of service stations as well, so no problem for the tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. Simple variable geometry turbo is there, VGT now, and now this does not come with a twin turbo. Obviously this segment cars never come with a twin turbo because that will make it more expensive to purchase as well as more costly to maintain as well. Now talking about the introduction for the Safari, it's 2.0 liter Cryotech diesel engine which is Fiat sourced Multijet 2 and it is used by Tata by retuning it a little bit for Harrier as well as for Safari. This one is actually very much refined but a little bit more complex as well, since it's not actually a made in India engine. It is sourced from Fiat and it is not entirely a Tata product. It is actually very suitable for Harrier after tuning. It is very suitable for Safari also after tuning a little bit. But then there is a higher pressure common rail system in it. It has a turbo and more parts prone to clogging or failure because of that particular reason. And slight turbo lag is also there. Power tuned for urban and highway. 170 PS is there. 350 Nm maximum torque is there for the automatic. And imported engine components are there. So some parts are little bit costlier just in case if you fall into a situation when the engine needs a rebuild or some parts go damaged. So the verdict about the overall engine work is M-Hawk is more rugged and has simpler maintenance. Cryotech is smoother but slightly complex. So difference in experiences will actually show on the bill of the maintenance as well after like 4 or 5 years at least. Then let's talk about the service and spare parts availability. Mahindra Scorpio N has a widespread rural as well as urban Mahindra service network. Faster parts availability is always there with Mahindra, especially for the 4x4 and engine related items as well, because Mahindra has been making these type of SUVs for a very long time now, so they have made it very much better so that the Scorpio N or Scorpio Classic or the Thar or Thar Rocks, if any of these cars fail or has some engine related problems, they will actually get the service done in a very good time. They are known for lower labor rates as well. And they have easily available filters and clutch components, etc. So if you want some parts to be sourced from outside the service station, obviously you can take it from there as well, because these engines are nothing new, they are time tested and many vendors also stock their parts. Talking about the Tata Safari, this is actually a very improved Tata service since last few years, but still inconsistent in some smaller towns, and Cryotech engine parts, EGR valves, injectors, etc. take longer to source. Labor rates are competitive but engine spare parts are pricier because these are Fiat sourced engines. So overall here also Mahindra has a better service reach and parts pipeline in 2025. Tata is yes very good and very competitive but just a small notch behind the Mahindra. When talking about the maintenance requirements, let's see that few tasks that we have to do every maintenance. So if you want to talk about the oil change, the engine oil change has to be done every 10,000 kilometers for the Scorpio and 2.2 liter M-Hawk diesel engine, and you can use semi-synthetic or fully synthetic engine oil with this. And when you talk about Safari's 2.0 diesel Cryotech engine, so that one can have oil change every 15,000 kilometers and always only fully synthetic. Fuel filter can be changed every 20,000 to 30,000 kilometers as per the maintenance. Whereas Safari will definitely need the fuel filter to be changed every 20,000 kilometers because it is very sensitive to fuel quality, and you always know how the fuel quality in Indian fuel stations is as of now. Timing chain has a very long life in Scorpio and diesel engine, whereas the 2.0 diesel engine of Safari, it has a timing belt and it has a replacement requirement every 1 lakh kilometers. Turbo care. Well, the Scorpio N's diesel engine can have a standard care if needed, and the Safari will have a more sensitive to driving habits. So, turbo care of Safari will depend on how you accelerate your vehicle. EGR valve cleaning, periodic but very simple in Scorpio N. But in Safari, EGR clogging is more frequent due to the Cryotech engine. Now again the verdict is M-Hawk is less sensitive to fuel and air quality, more forgiving in harsh conditions because it is made like that. That's why we call it a rugged and robust engine. Now talking about the 4x4 versus forward wheel drive. Scorpio and automatic 4x4 vehicle which we are talking about today. This has more moving parts in the transfer case. The low range gearbox is there. Front differentials are also there. Needs occasional 4x4 actuator check, transfer case, oil change, etc. It is ideal for rough roads, touring, towing, but if you do not have that type of purpose, you should not buy this vehicle at all. And if you have that type of purpose, the extra maintenance cost due to 4x4 will actually get justified. Safari on the other hand, even if it automatic or even if it is manual, this is always only forward wheel drive. No rear wheel drive option, no 4x4 option. So simpler drivetrain, fewer parts to maintain. So this is somewhere Safari wins, but only in terms of maintenance, not in terms of the practicality. Safari is simpler but Scorpio and gives more off-road capability at the cost of slightly higher upkeep for the 4x4 parts, but only for those who need it. Now let's discuss the overall cost of ownership, approximate annual service cost in 2025. So the routine service costs 7,000 to 9,000 rupees in Scorpio N, whereas it costs 8,500 to 11,000, slightly expensive in Safari. Common repairs like injectors, turbos, etc. 15,000 to 40,000 rupees with Scorpio N, depends on what is going to be changed, whereas 25,000 rupees to 60,000 rupees on Safari because the parts are slightly expensive in Tata. EGR turbo cleaning. Every 40,000 kilometers you can do this, and 1500 to 2500 rupees expense will be there for this particular task. Similarly, 2500 to 4000 rupees will be there with Safari. 4x4 system check every 30,000 kilometers. So 2000 to 3000 rupees every 30,000 kilometers you can spend for Scorpio, and where Safari will not have any such task because it doesn't have a 4x4. So overall summary, if we compare engine simplicity wise, rugged and easier is the Scorpio, and whereas Safari has a little more complex. Fuel sensitivity, the Scorpion's diesel engine tolerates poor diesel better. However, Safari is prone to sensitivity for fuel quality. Service reach, Scorpion's diesel engine gets a benefit of Mahindra's wide and especially rural area service stations, whereas Tata Safari has a growing but very mixed reviews for the service station. Off-road parts, Scorpio has a little bit more parts to maintain due to the off-road if it is having a 4x4 drivetrain, but if you buy the rear wheel drive option, there is nothing more to maintain. Similarly, Safari only comes with forward wheel drive, so it is simpler drivetrain to maintain. Overall reliability, well, this Scorpion's 2.2 liter M-Hawk diesel engine has proven over years and it has spent nearly 2 decades with India, so no problem with them. While the Safari's 2.0 Cryotech diesel engine is still maturing in Tata SUVs and it is very good but not the best. Maintenance cost wise, 9,000 to 15,000 yearly you can spend with Scorpio N, whereas 11,000 to 17,000 yearly you can spend with Tata Safari. Final thought, you can go with Scorpio and 4x4 automatic if you prioritize ruggedness, off-road use, long-term reliability and want easier rural touring serviceability. And you can go with Tata Safari automatic if you want a refined ride, urban use, more premium cabin and you are okay with slightly higher maintenance and potential part delays. Obviously, a lot of people will choose Scorpio and after looking at all these options, however, Safari still wins if you are not having any rugged usage, if you only need a city and highway touring vehicle, and if you are not having any type of off-road usage and you don't go to rural areas much. So Safari is more comfortable there. And only if you're having a rugged usage, you go off-road, you go touring as well as on the rough road areas, and if you are having an industrial purpose, if you often visit your sites which are out of the city and the roads are not very good, Scorpio N is a much better choice vehicle. It actually compromises a little bit of comfort for the rear passengers. However, it justifies all those things by the capabilities of taking you anywhere, anytime. So Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you got a little bit of information and clarity about the differences between the two types of engine, the 2.2 liter AMOG diesel engine as well as the 2.0 liter Cryotech diesel engines sourced from Fiat by Tata. And if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more such videos in the future. We are going to share more informative videos for all the people who are there to watch the technicalities, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much for watching.